This is me, Joe Franklin. I am with you, wandering through memory lane, living the years, laughter and tears over again. Mostly, I hope, laughter on the occasion of my 500,000th interview. That's a lot of interviews. That's a lot of episodes of the Joe Franklin Show. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Record for the host of the longest-running TV talk show, or maybe TV show period in the world. And I wanted, for this occasion, for this very ceremonious occasion, I wanted Abraham Lincoln, couldn't get him. Wanted Al Jolson, couldn't get him. Wanted George Washington or Woodrow Wilson or Herbert Hoover, I couldn't get them. So I figured the next best thing, by way of a guest, would be me interviewing my own self, me. And this is going to be the true, behind-the-scenes expose on the life and times of yours truly, your favorite MC, I hope. MC, mental case, me, Joe Franklin. Joe, what made you choose, I mean, instead of being a doctor or a dentist or an accountant or whatever it might be, what made you choose this profession known as show business, radio, TV, and movies, and all the glamour of Hollyweird and Tinseltown and stuff like that? Well, let me first say it's a pleasure to be here with you, Mr. Franklin, in that classic red jacket that I know you wore, interviewing 5 presidents, and I happen to love that jacket. I had actually considered other professions. I couldn't be a printer. I wasn't the type, and I wanted to be a plumber, but business was hitting the pipes. And I wanted to be a safecracker. Because my friend of mine was a safecracker, but I was too nervous to steal, so I didn't. So I chose the as Frank Lesser once told me, this famous songwriter, I chose the evil of the 2 lessers, and I became a talk show host on radio and TV. And I'm stuck with it. That was going to be, at the beginning, maybe a 6-month profession, and it wound up half a century. And as of now, I'm still not going to quit until I get it right. Billy Crystal did a spoof on you on Saturday Night Live for 4 years. What was your opinion? What was your reaction the first time you saw Billy Crystal as Joe Franklin? The first time, I couldn't watch for at least half a year because I'm on the radio at the same time when Saturday Night Live was on television. When somebody finally showed me a videotape of Billy Crystal as Joe Franklin, and the first thing I said, my immediate reaction was, one of us is lousy. And I let Billy know, but he did make me into a somewhat superstar. My club date fee went at that time from $10 to $25, and I hope to thank Billy in person someday, very soon. Joe, I know that you've interviewed all the important stars. What is your opinion of one of the great scientists of all time, psychologists, gynecologist? Well, let's just say Eddie Cantor. What's your opinion of Eddie Cantor? Well, Eddie, to me, was my all-time favorite entertainer. I wrote for his radio show when I was about 12 years old. He was known as the man who made Whoopi. In fact, there was a song called "Who's This Girl Named Whoopi?" that all the boys are trying to make. He was number one in radio, TV, all the media, and it's kind of sad that with the passage of time, well, who's really remembered? I mean, time marches on, and people don't get their due recognition. But at least Billy Crystal, when he did me all those years on Saturday Night Live, he kept my name and Eddie Cantor's name alive. Joe, what's the secret of longevity in your field, a field where the lifespan, the mortality rate, shall we call it, is so murderously furious, where talk shows come and go? Yours went for 43 years. What's any little formula, any little secret that you can share to share with our people out there? Once again, Joe, your questions are so good, so penetrating, so investigative, so probing. I mean, you're a hard-hitting man. I would say the secret of my success is something that I created, a phrase that I created, which George Burns later on picked up. But the secret of success in my field, where the mortality rate is, as you said just now, Joe, staggering. In fact, there were 500 talk shows came and went, hosts who came and went while I was on the air, first on Channel 7 for 20 years, then on Channel 9 for 23 more years. The secret of my success is and always will be sincerity. Sincerity. And once you've learned to fake that, then you've got it made. Now, Joe, what is your informed assessment, your educated appraisal, your considered opinion of today's talk shows, the David Lettermans, the Jay Lenos, the Regis Philbins, and that ilk? Ilk is not the right word. Ilk is kind of a downer, but what is your educated assessment? Well, I would say they become somewhat predictable. I was always ad-lib and different and spontaneous, and as we hinted, I was organic and from the bones and real. I think they've gotten very plastic, and I think that there'll always be talk shows and talking heads, but the golden age of TV in the world of chat shows, with the exception of Oprah Winfrey, is and Regis Philbin, who's got a certain spark. I would say the golden age is, as Pat Cooper would say, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's all over. As for the future of TV, Joe, do you see it going as I see it? You see it going from the obtuse to the obscure, from the nebulous to the pusillanimous. You see it going from the recalcitrant to the more antediluvian, from the fuzzy to the ill-defined. Would you agree with me that that's part of the way it looks for the foreseeable future? I'd love your educated assessment regarding that remark. I think that it was much more interesting and much more fun when there were only 5 or 6 channels. Now there are about 500 to 1,000 channels and nothing to look at. It's really, it's gotten creepy, scary. Do you have one all-time favorite interview out of your 500,000 interviews? Do you have one all-time favorite interview that you could list above all the others? Your considered opinion, your educated appraisal, your informed assessment. Well, I know that I'm sort of prejudging and going a little bit ahead of myself, but I would say the one I'm doing right now with you, Joe, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's going to be my second favorite would be, I guess, Bing Crosby. I always sort of worship. I idolized Bing Crosby. I always thought of Bing Crosby as being what you would call mechanically reproduced. I thought of Bing on radio, on TV, on the movie screen, on tape, on records. But when he walked toward me that day, flesh and blood, I think that was the one time that it was real. I think I melted. That was my all-time favorite. And Bing, by the way, I want to say, in private life, and I'm really serious now, was very unromantic. He was icy. He was cold. He hated to sing those words, "I love you." Imagine the #1 swooner crooner of all time, the top balladeer in history. In private life, hated to sing mushy, gushy songs. But that day, he could have been a third-rate vaudevillian. He was just so at ease and walked out in the street after the show, walks up to a young lady on the sidewalk. He says, "My name is Bing Crosby. You want to go on the road? Want to go in vaudeville? Want to do a gig with me?" He was so elated, so happy. He was so warm. I think the Crosby Show could have been my all-time choice favorite interview. And your advice, of course, to aspiring talk show hosts out there, again, a great question. They certainly approach me all the time with that kind of a question. I say the main thing for an aspiring talk show host in this business of the broadcast media, A, don't leave your wallet in the dressing room. That's number 1. B, don't bump into the furniture. And let your wardrobe do the acting. You just sit there and let your wardrobe do the talking for you. And be good to your father and mother. That's very important. Is it true, Joe, that you always took great solace in platitudes, little cliches, little homilies, little slogans made famous by you or by other famous people? And if so, maybe have a couple of examples. Well, some of my favorite cliches are longer, some are shorter. I always say, when you win the Academy Award, thank God, and then thank your agent, and then tell your agent you need a job right away. And then I would say those slogans would include, "Here's to our wives and sweethearts, may they never meet. May you live as long as you want, and may you never want as long as you live. And maybe one more that I created, so I've gotten around now. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And Joe, you're a nice interviewer. I admire your technique. I like your style, and I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to follow your pattern of questioning. I think it's great. Now, Joe, the important question is, what would you like your future to be by way of career recognition, your message to the world? Let's say your legacy to the world 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now. That I was a nice man, I was good to my family, which means I never went home at night. No, on a really serious note. I wanted to be that I was pure, I was organic, I was from the bones. I mean, any other talk show, when somebody says, how do you feel? It says on a card, printed there, fine. I never rehearsed, I never met my guests in the green room, I never went over the lines, had no pre-production meetings. I just got there on the screen and I ad-libbed, and I guess I'm proudest of the fact that my legacy includes that I gave the first exposure ever on TV to people like Barbra Streisand, Bette Midler, Bill Cosby, Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, Bruce Springsteen, the Jackson family 5 times, Michael Jackson, New Kids on the Block, the Ramones, Paul Simon. I mean, the list goes on, and it's nice. I've got a lot of rewarding factors in my life. That was an interview of cataclysmic dimension. That takes a 4-star super duper rating. I would say that goes into the time vault, into the time capsule. It'll come up every 1,000 years. We'll play it again over and over again. Joe, thank you very much. Please invite me back on your show. You're one of my all-time favorite spokespersons and personalities, and may you live as long as you want, and may you never want as long as you live. Thank you so much. That was, for me, one of the all-time cataclysmic dimensional interviews, and I really mean that from the bottom of my bottom.